Okay, I have a tough one today, guys. But I, I'm really hopeful that it helps some of y'all out there. Um, some of y'all may not want to listen to this one because it's a really tough one. Um, it's about being molested as a child. So if you have no interest in hearing about that, or you've been through it and you don't want to hear someone else's experience, now's your time to click out, because I'm gonna go deep into what it did to me and how I felt. Um, so again, it's a very tough subject to talk about, but I feel it needs to be talked about because so many more people than you would have ever imagined have been through this. Um, and so many of us have been wandering around just so lost, feeling all alone, and not knowing how to process what it is exactly that they're feeling, because they may not even know. Um, my hope here is that by sharing my understanding of this, it'll help others reach their own understanding so that they can get beyond this past hurt and move forward in life. I need a drink. Okay. Lord. Okay. I did write a script for this. It's easier to write than to talk about. Um, I'm gonna struggle, just so you know. Okay, I have been molested by two different people. Some of you already know of one occasion when I was 6 years old. Um, I have very clear memories from 6 years old on. Actually, probably about 4 years old on, I have very clear memories. But I will tell you, I don't remember the exact incident of what happened. I can't remember the details while it happened. I remember leading up to that moment very clearly. And then I remember feeling ashamed and like a piece of myself was missing. I know that while it was happening, the little girl in my head hid in the deepest part of my mind, where no one could find me. Because if they couldn't find me, they couldn't hurt me. But in doing that, I not only hid her from the rest of the world, but I hid her from myself as well. The other time, which was the first time, I'm not 100% sure of my age. I know I knew how to tie my shoes, and I knew how to tie my shoes by the time I was 2.5, when those half years really counted. So I estimate that I was maybe 3 years old. I remember the details leading up to that moment very clearly. And I remember the details after just as clearly. I mean, immediately after. And the details of both, the before and after, are very suggestive to what happened to me. This is something I have been carrying for years, and I didn't want to admit that it happened. I didn't want to remember it. Sorry. Now, I'm sure a lot of you will understand that there's shame and guilt. Lots of those feelings. And I think it's important to understand why there's shame involved and guilt. I will preface this by saying this is where my shame comes from. And I share this because I'm sure there are some others that will agree their shame comes from a very similar place. But not everybody will. At least not both parts. And yes, my shame comes from two different parts, two different avenues, areas. So understand that even though this may have happened to you, you may not have the same exact emotions as me. I mean, we're all different people, so everybody processes pain differently. They react to it differently. For me, it was shame and guilt. And, well, here are these shames. Shame number 1, and this is a shame that has eaten at me all my life. So many years. And it makes me feel like a horrible person. A horrible person. Okay. I know that in the instance when I was 6 years old, that what happened to me had moments of feeling good. Parts of my body were explored that should never be at that age. By an adult who knew where pleasure points were. I knew everything happening to me was wrong. But at moments, spots were hit that gave me pleasure. How could something so horrible give me any pleasure? I've carried that for years. I've carried it thinking I am an awful person. I am an awful person for having feel-good moments from something that was so morally wrong. What it took me so long to understand was that it's completely physiological. Our bodies are made to feel pleasure, so we procreate and keep the species alive. I had absolutely no control over what was happening to me. None. I was too little to have any control. So the shame that I've carried for years should have never been my shame. That was his shame. He was in control. He knew what he was doing. He was the adult, and he knew better. He fucking knew better. So what helped me carry that shame as my own? Why did I carry it as my own shame? From this moment on, I explored myself and gave myself that pleasure. Instead of it coming from a place of hormones, during adolescence, when your body is getting ready to procreate, it came from a place of trauma. So I felt like I was wronging myself. I was wronging myself, reliving the feel-good moments of something that was so morally wrong. And that led to guilt. I need another drink. Oh, shit. I do want to say that I grew up in a family where knowing yourself and exploring yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally were all beautiful things. So I would have never felt guilt for physically exploring myself had it came naturally. I didn't think I was going to go blonde or grow hair on my head or anything like that. So the guilt was purely the morality of how my physical self-exploration came to fruition. Sorry, a little break there. And my card was full, so it quit recording. So I had to erase something really fast. Where were we? Oh, shame number 2. It's getting hot with these lights. Shame number 2. It is a big one and it has dictated my life. I didn't protect myself. I allowed this to happen to me. I felt this both times, but this was the only shame I felt the first time. I suddenly doubted myself. My ego woke up in this moment. And at 3, you're not supposed to have ego yet. Happening again at 6 only reinforced that I couldn't trust myself to protect my being. Sorry, y'all, I'm like trying not to have a panic attack as I record this. The heck did I just hear? Of course, the reality of it is, I was too little to protect myself. I could not protect myself. At that age, you just can't. You are reliant on adults to protect you as they teach you how to protect yourself. That's just the way the human cycle works. I know this. But reaching this understanding, it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. I think a good portion of us have gone through this, carrying this well into adulthood. I am 40 years old, and I am just now reaching this understanding and trying to repair the damage. I'm just now finding the little girl that I hid away. It took me a lot of years. And I am just now getting to the point that I feel that I am capable of protecting my being. I've been searching for other people to protect me for as long as I can remember. At first it was Mom and Dad. I knew that even though they didn't protect me in those moments, it was because they were unaware that I was in any danger. They thought I was in hands they could trust. But I knew that by their side, I was safe. When my father died when I was 14 and the mother that I knew died along with him, I spiraled. I couldn't protect myself. My dad's dead, so now he can't protect me. And my mom is lost in her grief. Yeah, she was lost in her grief and didn't know what to do with me, 'cause I was a handful. I was a handful. And then a few months after Dad passed away, I ended up getting raped. So that only reinforced in my head that I couldn't take care of me. I couldn't protect me. Shit. I've been seeking protection from others, grasping at anything that I thought might give me the slightest glimmer of safety. I've just wanted to be safe. And of course, in doing that, it led me to putting myself in bad situations and bad relationships, which in turn only prolonged the suffering as it added more. If you're stuck in this cycle or a similar one, I'm here to tell you that in order to break it, you need to love yourself again. Because when it comes down to it, when that happens to you, you quit loving yourself. You just do. How can you? In that moment, how can you love yourself? And you get stuck in that. But in order to love yourself, You need to know yourself, understand yourself, and accept yourself. Everything about yourself. Every mistake you've made, everything. Accept it. Accept everything that you hate about yourself. Quit hating it. You're human. Accept it. You've got to love and accept all of yourself. Don't expect it to be a speedy process. I have been in the healing process for 13 years, and I began healing through art. Self-expression is a beautiful way to start the healing process. Let me go back a little bit. I started trying to heal in my early 20s, so nearly 20 years ago, with therapy. And I would say therapy helped me understand certain aspects of myself that I don't think I would have attained without a coach. Having someone guide you is likely the best start for a lot of people. Not everyone, but for a lot of people, having someone give you guidance is always a good thing. Me and the it drives me nuts. But in my late 20s, I felt like I had gotten all I was going to get out of therapy. Maybe I needed a new therapist, but I turned to art instead. And when I did that, that's when I actually felt like I was starting to heal. I didn't really feel it with the therapy, even though in retrospect I know that therapy did help me. I just couldn't fully see it at the time. But the art is suddenly I'm healing wounds. But I after a while I got stuck. Art was still helping me heal very specific wounds. But I wasn't progressing. So I decided meditation. Let's try meditation. And before I go much more into this, I've had a spiritual awakening, so yeah. And like I said, the healing process for me started a long time ago, and this spiritual awakening is like brand new. So, that's where this is going. Yeah, I tried meditation, and I thought, there is no way in hell I am ever going to be able to meditate. That woo-woo stuff, meditation, nah. I'd had meditation on my mind for a couple years, and I'm like, there's no way. My mind races way too much. How am I going to quiet my mind? But I gave it a shot. I started with Headspace, which is a great starter. I was doing it daily, and it took a month before I felt like I was meditating successfully. A month. So yeah, I kept trying because I am tired of feeling this way, of doing the same shit over and over again, living this miserable little life that I don't want anymore. I'm done with it. I'm ready to move on. So I was like, I really, really need to give this a shot. But once I started having successful meditations, it was like I'm discovering my spirituality. It's like, boom, I'm awake. I'm like, what the fuck happened? what is happening to me? And I say this, I was an atheist. I didn't believe in any of this. Not I come from a Catholic background, and through all the bullshit, lost my faith, and I was in a total place of disbelief. This was all nonsense. So if you're someone in a similar place, it can happen, and it's a beautiful thing when it does. I like want everybody to wake up, because it's like awesome. So it's awesome. Well, it's very emotional as well, because I'm still healing wounds, and stuff is it's I don't know. But yeah, through discovering my spirituality is when I was like, I got to get to the root of the problem. There's something deep. There is something deep down the root of all my fears. And I kind of knew where I needed to go, because I had some memories for quite a few years. And I will say, in both cases, in both instances, I had these thoughts. Well, from the 6-year-old on, I kind of always carried that with me. And the what really happened, did it really happen? Did I imagine it? The only thing I do know is that after that experience, he was suddenly pushing me around every chance he got. So I don't know if I did something to her. I don't know, but he started physically abusing me any chance he got, when no one was around to see what he was doing. So I've carried that experience when I was 6, that knowing, for a long time. It took me a very long time to tell a soul, but I've known it since. But what happened when I was 3-ish, it was like, okay, the memories are so very vivid of the before and the immediately after. But can I trust my memory being that age? And in both instances, someone came forward saying that it had been done to them. So I'm like, that's all the confirmation I need. But yeah, I had to really explore what happened to me when I was 3, instead of just letting the flashes of the images, the quick little memories, you immediately push them away as they pop in your mind. I was like, no, I have to deal with this. I have to remember it and feel it. So yeah, you've got to go deep down into those traumatic childhood events, and remember how it made you feel, so you can remember what it took away from you. Because you're missing you're missing yourself. You're missing that little girl inside of you, full of hope and life, or a little boy. This happened. I'm sorry, I said little girl because I'm a little girl. I was a little girl. It came from, but it happens to both sexes equally. I believe. I'm not saying it happens to one sex more than the other. I think it happens to both equally. It's just fucking horrible. People. Sorry, I need another drink. But yeah, you've got to face what it made you feel. It is not going to be easy. I mean, dude, I cried like I ain't cried in years. And let me tell you, I cry all the freaking time. So this was some deep, emotional, heavy crying. I can't even tell you. You'll know it when you go through it. I'm gonna leave links down in the description below. That has helped me in the process. I'll try to leave personalities of different flavors, so maybe you can find somebody that matches your vibe. And I like people of all different personality types. I think it's beautiful how different we all are. Um, and but some people want specific someone they really feel the right energy with. So hopefully I leave enough that you might find your fit. Um, but if none of these people fit your energy, just keep searching. There's somebody out there that will put off the right vibes for you, I promise. So don't give up. Keep looking. And hopefully this video inspired you to wake up and go save your life. Go find that little girl, get her back. That little boy, get him back. Find that inner child and love yourself. I really hope this helps some of you, or inspires you, or leads you in the right direction. Something. If it did, please give the video a like and give it a share. Maybe it'll help somebody else. We need to help and uplift each other. Really, I feel so cheesy and sappy because I've always been the one with this really dark sense of humor, and I don't know. I feel very cheesy right now. Sorry. But yeah. So if you like this video and you think you might get more from my content, subscribe. I love you guys. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.